We got the Poundcake Sports Break, last one of 2021. Going to happen in the 5 o'clock hour. I will have tickets for you to see Bill Burr later on as well. He's doing the Romo Fijo on April the 23rd. Those tickets are on sale, but I'll have a pair of tickets for you today and tomorrow, right around 5:20. Aziz Ansari has announced a tour, by the way, for people who are champing at the bit to see him. He's going to do 6 cities in 4 weeks. He's calling it the Last Minute Tour, and he means that literally. He's going out the day after Christmas, and he's going to go till mid-January. So if you're a huge Aziz fan, these are going on sale tomorrow, but you'll have to travel to see him. You'd have to go to Chicago or D.C. Those are the closest ones here. So he's been off the radar for a bit. We were just talking about him the other night. Gwen and I were talking about Aziz, about whether or not he got Me Too'd. And I think
he got soft meat. Like, they tried to Me Too him. Everybody's like, no, it just sounds like he had a bad date.
He had a bad date.
Because that girl wrote that article and is like, he kept sticking his fingers in my mouth. But like,
right. It was more embarrassing than assault. Yeah. She left and, they didn't go out again. He's engaged now. Getting married. So maybe he met someone in the aftermath of all that, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to wife this one up. I don't need any more. Imagine having an article written about your date.
Right.
One of your dates. And not even a great one.
Well, it's a date where, things weren't going the way, like the girl wasn't that into the date, but she wasn't telling him anything. She just kept moving around the apartment. Like it was a weird article. Yeah,
so that was kind of when everybody was looking for somebody to Me Too. And clearly they were trying to scoop Aziz up in that, but I think he kind of escaped relatively unscathed compared to some of his peers.
Yeah, poor Louis C.K. All he's got going on is a new Netflix special coming out and a Grammy nomination.
Yeah.
Rough guy. Rough time for him. And he also sold out 2 shows at the Agora a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
So he's having a tough time.
Yeah. Well, it's weird, too, because Louis, they don't really promote his shows.
He just does it all through his email.
That's what I'm saying. That we're not running commercials for Louis C.K. at the, because I don't think that's the vibe they're going for. He's still just kind of trying to get the word out where he can.
But it gets out, so...
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's waiting it out until, I guess, but again...
And I guess it's probably not a Netflix special coming out, but it's just like his own... The way he does it, where he just puts them out on his website.
He's got another one of those coming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. Because he was doing a couple of clubs a year ago, I think. Just kind of dipping his toe back in the water to see what's up.
Well, last year he did, because he was working his way up to theaters, because in January 2020, he did the Goodyear Theater in Akron.
Yeah.
So that...
Probably packed it out.
Yeah. And then during COVID, he did, I think, Hilarities.
Yeah.
Just because that was open. The theaters weren't open.
Yeah, well, listen, I still think Louis C.K.'s funny.
He's very funny.
But what are you going to do? Hey, listen, we, in the course of doing personal appearances, if you're doing one for, let's say, a beverage company, right? What do we always say if someone's going to take a photo? It's not even a joke, but it's kind of a running joke,
Labels out.
Labels out is what you want to do. And I think that there are probably limitations to labels out. Like the guy who got scooped up as one of the Capitol riot traitors because he said, I don't always storm the Capitol, but when I do, I prefer Coors Light. That's probably not what Coors Light was hoping would thrust them back into the national conversation. But they grabbed another one of these cosplay triots out there, and he, I guess, posted something on Facebook Live about he had the label out, he had the logo out on his Coors Light. Some guy from Dallas. He filmed a video. He drank a beer while storming the Capitol. Wouldn't you kind of have to, though? You got to wonder how many people did that and weren't hopped up on either meth or beer or something.
I'd probably do liquor, though.
Stone cold sober? That doesn't seem likely.
I mean, with light beer, you're going to have to pee.
Is that what it is? But there are probably bathrooms all over the place. I mean, they're finding out that half of these people were given tours by Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene before all this went down. So they probably knew exactly where the bathrooms were.
And they were also
I got to use AOC's crapper. Anybody in there?
Kind of going to the bathroom wherever they could anyway, so...
Yeah, it sounds like they probably weren't looking for the facilities. Yeah, good point.
Good point.
So, yeah, I don't always storm the Capitol, but when I do, I prefer Coors Light, is what this... And I don't know that Coors Light released any kind of statement. But, these guys posting a lot of message in all caps. A lot of all caps messages. And again, I know that it's a goof. It's like a boomer stereotype, the all caps or whatever, but I don't understand the all caps. You know where the lowercase is. Why not all lowercase? I understand maybe not wanting to capitalize proper letters and things like that. Why not all lowercase? Why all caps?
Because it sends a stronger message.
Is that
These
what it
are
is?
strong men, Alan. You got to get their point across.
Sure. They're all out there doing it. The Gravy Seals. So, I don't know if anybody from Coors Light had made, listen, those people are being accused of a lot of things. Being a well-oiled brain trust is not one of them.
I like in one of his posts, he's like saying how he's proud that you didn't see people spray painting stuff or burning stuff down. It's really kind of cool. Yeah, they're just killing cops. That's all they were doing.
Back the blue. Yeah. We're here to kill some cops. Right.
And trying to kill other, elected officials.
There you go.
But there wasn't any spray paint, so that's good.
Nobody's out there with Krylon cans shaking them up.
Just trying to overthrow the government, but we didn't spray paint anything. There was no fires.
Hey, they got me on a handful of things. They did not get me on vandalism. All right? I walked in, patted the shaman on the back. He gave me a piggyback ride on his horns. And then we left. So listen, I'll take him at his word. Maybe he didn't burn anything down, but, he had a beer with him. And that's okay.
I mean, is that going to add an extra charge?
Drunk and disorderly?
Drunk and disorderly.
Yeah. Sir, we got you on open container in the Capitol.
See, if you told me all those people were drunk or high, I would believe you. But if they were all sober, that's even scarier. They're like, oh, I've been sober for years. I swore off the stuff.
They're drunk on rage, man.
But
it's a hell of a drug.
But just imagine giving up your life. You're like, nope, I lost a friend to alcoholism or a drunk driver, and my parents were both addicts, so I just swore off that. But I'm gonna go overthrow the Capitol. I'm just gonna be a patriot and just overthrow the government. That seems a lot more, sane.
Yeah. So he, they know how to zero in these dudes based on what they're wearing or, in this case.
Stereotyping.
Or the fact that they post it on social media.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you're basically doing the work for them when you do that. And again, it's not like they're going, I mean, it's a funny anecdote, but it's not like they were going to identify the guy by the Coors Light. It's not like he carries it with him everywhere. Hey, that's the Coors Light guy.
I thought it was him, but he was drinking a Bud Light.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, he had a 1776 sweatshirt on, right? So that's how they... Now, again, they just use whatever facial recognition technology they've got to...
1776!
Yeah. And frankly, if you're not there, beating somebody over to head, neck, and chest, this guy, multiple photos of himself, just kind of standing by things with a beer. He's like,
standing by things.
You know what I mean? That's, that's what they are. He's like, hey, I'm here's the giant painting of the Declaration of Independence signing. Here's me.
I'm just standing by things.
Yeah, and he had like the pullover hoodie with the pockets in front, and they're all full of fat Coors Lights.
Came prepared. Some people brought pepper spray. He brought some light beer.
Patriots.
Maybe it was all a false flag. Maybe he's really a Dos Equis guy. Maybe he's into some other kind of... maybe he's into Miller Lite. I don't know.
Here's one for you guys. You guys always talk about me snitching. If you knew someone...
1776!
If you knew someone personally and you found out that they were at the Capitol, would you turn them in?
What makes you think that I don't?
I'm asking. I don't know.
Did you turn them in?
Did I turn them in? No, I'm kidding. Would I turn someone in if they were part of the Capitol
You
riot?
always talk about
yeah, of
me
course.
snitching.
Of course
Okay.
I would. Sure.
Mind your own business. Why you want to be a snitch?
Because it's not mind your own business. It's a crime.
Okay.
You're talking about snitching on people because you're worried that,
You're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, this is a false analogy, by the way.
Is that a false analogy?
Of course it is. You're likening something that your friend might do to people that were storming the Capitol, trying to kill cops. Do you have any friends who have tried to kill any cops? Because I have a feeling that you might drop a dime on them.
No, I don't have any friends that have tried to kill cops. I've had friends that dealt drugs. They locked up. I have friends that committed felonies by assault. They locked up. All my friends get caught. My friends aren't really clever criminals. So anyone who has,
yeah, but then you don't have to worry about snitching on them.
But they wouldn't
They
tell me.
snitch on themselves.
They wouldn't tell me. They're like, don't talk about this on your show. Okay, I won't talk about it on my show. I'm just gonna call. I'm gonna call the police.
They say don't talk about this on the show.
No, there's no
I don't know.
You got to be a real. I mean, there's dumb criminals out there, but you got to be a real dumb one to tell it to someone like me. I'm the resident big mouth, and So if you tell me, you are essentially wanting to get caught. Because you should know there's certain people you shouldn't tell things to. I'm not going to incriminate myself by lying for you. So I lose my job and I lose my livelihood. I lose my freedom. No, forget that.
Huh. All right.
Because what I do then would affect you. Because you would be like, because if I did know something and I didn't say anything and I got caught, you'd be like, well, you should have told.
So would you snitch on somebody that was at the Capitol?
Yeah, hell yeah. But I'm a snitch. I'm telling you, I'm a snitch. Don't be putting friending me on Facebook and posting pictures like that. Report. Hey.
No, he's smart. He's letting people know. Do not confide in me.
About a crime, no.
About anything.
No, you can confide in me. I'm not going to.
But how do they know? I mean, people know.
Don't tell me a crime.
Well, no. People know what a crime is, but that also might make them less likely to just confide in you in general.
Well, that's not necessarily true because I am a vault when it comes to, personal problems. Like everyone has anxieties or things.
What about if it's something that you don't realize is a crime?
Like what?
And I don't know.
Why?
Dealer's choice. I mean, we're not lawyers.
Well, I'm not a lawyer either. But if something you contorted my mind. If I don't know it's a crime, then I don't think it's a crime. Mm-hmm. For me.
I mean,
you don't know
what
what you don't know until you know it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Remember, Jerry, it's not a lie if you believe it.
You don't know what you don't know until you know it. Mm-hmm. Ignorance is...
no excuse? Are those the words you're looking for?
It is
no
an
excuse. It's not.
It is. If I didn't know
people
it was
get
a
hauled.
crime,
People get hauled in all the time, and they go, "I didn't know I couldn't do that." And they go, "Well, you can't. You're under arrest."
No, I couldn't do that. You don't know what you don't know until you know it.
That happens all the time. Ignorance is not a get out of jail free card. Then you'd have people walking around going, "I didn't know I couldn't beat that guy in the face. He was walking too close to me."
Yeah, there'd be a lot of people getting out of certain situations where it's like, well, I didn't know I couldn't do it.
That's right.
I didn't know she couldn't withstand my punch. I didn't know it was going to kill her. I just wanted to knock her out.
That's why they're like, yeah, there's no religious exemption for vaccine mandates. It's made up. Because A, there's no religion that says you can't get vaccinated, and B, everybody in the world who didn't want to do it would go, well, it's my religion. People are already wiping their ass with religion when it's convenient for them. So if you got...
some people go really out of their way to wipe their ass with religion. Let's not forget those people.
I was watching this woman's video or something. Gee, what a shock that we couldn't get our arms around COVID in this country. This woman's doing it. She's like, 1 in 3 people can't wipe properly. Weird that we can't handle big stuff because grown-ups somehow can't figure out how to wipe. And so she's like doing a video on telling people. This woman, she's like...
1 in 3 people aren't wiping properly?
This doctor, she's like a pelvic health therapist or something. She goes, okay, a lot of people don't wipe properly. I'm like, grown-ups don't wipe properly?
What do you mean wiping properly? What's the proper
Your
way
ass.
to wipe? I understand that, but how could you not...
Yeah,
front to back.
But you wipe it until everything's gone. Like
It's like a marker. It's like a...
That's why I have 2 bidets. Because sometimes I have the marker bottom. And so you got to wipe and wipe and wipe and wipe. Not a problem if you got a bidet.
pelvic floor physical therapist, and I'm going to teach you how to wipe from front to back. Take your toilet paper, go to the front, and then push to the back. That makes the most sense, and it's so easy.
A doctor needed to spell that out for people. I'm going to teach you how to wipe from front to back. And then she literally repeats herself. Start in the front and go to the back.
I thought there was going to be something here that was like, oh, maybe I had no, this is the most basic
of course
way to wipe. And like the way that I feel like we've all been taught. Also, it's very important the way you put the toilet paper on the roll. We talked about that before with the
flap in the front.
Flap in the front.
Yeah.
Which I lived with Grandma for a year and a half, and she was a flap in the back person.
She's English.
Slide. I know, but it really bothers me to this day.
Especially for women, little girls who are like potty training. You're like, never back to front.
Yeah,
never back to front.
Don't push it towards the cave.
No, never back to front. But this woman says that 1 in 3 people, statistically, aren't doing it right. 25,000 people took a poll. A medical poll about a variety of things, and 34% said they go back to front. And people go, why couldn't we get our heads around this global pandemic? Because 30% of the people in this poll don't know how to wipe.
I don't do either. I just dab and pat.
I mean, that's basically what I do now because I have the bidet. So like, it's a dry off situation. But
you just put your middle finger there and then you just spin it around.
Oh God! Dab and Pat used to do mornings out at Rock 106 in Lima, I think. Yeah, Dab and Pat. Dab and Pat.
Spin it around.
This guy.
Take your middle finger and just take your 2 other fingers and just spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it. Poop time. Poop time.
Spin it, spin it.
So you're spinning the toilet paper like you're a Harlem Globetrotter?
Yeah.
He's Meadowlark Lemon in the bathroom.
And then you spin.
But you don't need to do that. Lemon. Front to back. It couldn't be simpler.
Nah.
Like she says, front to back.
I like it that way. Dab and pat.
Yeah. He just likes to get it up in there and mess around.
Try to see, like, if I clench, see if anything's on the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more effective.
This all started because there was some girl on TikTok who was like, it's physically impossible to do front to back. And so this doctor's like, no, it's not.
What do you mean it's physically
I don't know what
I couldn't imagine doing it back to front. Like, just the motion of that seems so wrong.
Right.
So wrong.
Yeah. So when this is what we're dealing with, no one at all should be shocked or surprised when there are people running around who can't seem to get it together. Grown people. They didn't take a poll of 25,000 kindergartners and they were like asking people
paying bills, paying taxes.
That's right. Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah. How do you wipe? Because that was the poll.
Someone that could serve on a jury is wiping back to front. That's
yeah.
That's why we're failing as a society.
Front to back, back to front. Mm-hmm. I use a bidet was one of the choices, and I wipe a different way, and I'll tell you about it in the comments. That would be Poundcake. That little swirly finger thing that he does. Whatever that is. The dab and pat. So Dr. Heather Jeffcoat was the pelvic therapist or something who was telling people this is precisely how you're supposed to do it. And I can't believe I have to tell you this, but again, she is a public health official. She's a public servant, of course, and so she's trying to, on her part, she's like, no judgment, just do it this way. Leave the judgment to me, but on her part, this is how you do it. She's trying to keep everyone healthy.
Back to fronters. Start sending her death threats. Like, I was raised, wipe back to front, and that's how we do it here. It's heritage, not hemorrhoids.
You'll never tell me how to do it. My bung.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to wipe.
That's right. My bung, my choice. So, congratulations to those people who are. People wonder why they have all kinds of weird afflictions and bacteria in their pants. All right, listen, I'm going to take a break here. If you want to text for anything, 351